You have to accordingly adapt.
Yep, they have Ugin, the planeswalker that basically gets to board wipe humans, and then they also have engineered explosives as well.
And Oblivion Stone.
And, sorry, actually, yeah, Oblivion Stone is the main sweeper, yeah. I think they side in sometimes engineered explosives.
So
but
it looks like Tron's going down to 5 here, so that turn 3 Tron's not looking so likely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're a humans player, the thing that that John wants to do, he wants to get really fast pressure. He wants to be getting pressure on Andrew quick before he can board wipe, and he also possibly wants to get a kite sail freebooter out early to pull out any type of removal that Andrew might have or any type of answers.
Right.
Humans doesn't really have a whole ton of interaction against like stopping Tron from happening. So 9 times out of 10, like a normal Tron 7 cards they're going to go active on turn 3 against humans, usually.
Right, turn 4 at the latest, usually.
Yeah. So here we go. So just so anybody that's not familiar with humans, it's a deck that obviously runs all humans for the most part, except for some of the sideboard cards. And then their mana base is all cards that are tribal-based cards. So you're just naming humans when you play it, and then
4 unclaimed territories, 4 cavernous souls, and some ancient ziggurats.
Yeah, the ancient ziggurats are the unique card, obviously, just letting you cast any creature.
This is a very good start from humans here, though. He did miss his second land drop, it seems.
Yeah, so the Kite Sail Freebooter, it's basically like a Thoughtseize on a stick type card. He's basically getting to cast that, look at the opponent's hand, and then he just gets to pull a instant or sorcery out of there. Wow. However, if Andrew is able to kill that Kite Sail, he will get the card back.
Yeah, and it still looks like he's going to have that turn 3 Tron. Look at that. On the mull to 5, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Doesn't matter how many Kite Sail Freebooters you have. Yeah, take his card. Better hope he doesn't draw a Karn.
So one thing, though, that you will notice, though, obviously, even though John has out a Noble Hierarch as a mana ramper, he did miss a land drop there.
Yeah, he's missed 2 land drops thus far.
That's not something that he basically wants to see. But, again, he did pull out 2 important cards out of Andrew's hand.
So now Andrew's just knocking the top of his deck.
For those of you guys in chat that don't know about Noble Hierarch, it does also have an Exalted trigger text on there, which means that if a different attacking creature attacks alone, that they will get a +1.
It applies to itself.
Yeah, or itself. Yeah, you're correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just any of your creatures, if they attack alone, they'll get a +1 for the turn. Sometimes that's relevant.
He's gonna sack a Chromatic Sphere.
Yep.
Floating a green.
Yeah, so with these stars and the spheres that he's playing on Tron, this is just like helping him kind of look through his deck to try and find his lands, get some color fixing as well if he has any colored casting cards.
Here, I think he's just looking for a finisher.
Yeah, he's just looking for anything. Luckily for Andrew, though, there's not a lot of pressure that John is.
Yeah, we didn't see a turn 1. There's a Champion of the Parish. We didn't see that into like a turn 2 Thalia. And no, what's that card called?
Yeah, so
the Mantis Rider.
So we just saw John cast a Phantasmal Image. That's able to basically copy anything else on the battlefield that's a creature. However, if it is targeted at all, it sacrifices it to itself. I'm not sure exactly what he copied. Were you able to catch that, Tom?
He took a Kite Sail Freebooter.
Okay.
So he's just trying to get as much information out of his hand and take as many cards as he can. Looks like he's got some heavy hitters in his hand, though. That's a World Breaker there.
Yeah, World Breaker. He's able to take out Josh's. Sorry about that. Looks like we changed it. It was John before, but looks like Josh. I apologize to Josh Risley there. Yeah, so the World Breaker is able to destroy a land when it comes into play as well.
And it's just a big boy. It's a 5/7 with reach.
Yeah.
So it's going to effectively block those Kite Sail Freebooters.
Yeah, Josh is in trouble if he doesn't get another land out here pretty quick, it looks like. Oh, there we go.
That's exactly what he needed here.
So, Thalia's Lieutenant, basically that's going to put a 1/1 counter on every single creature that he has on the every single human on the battlefield, which all of his right now are. But also, if you notice that he did put 2 counters on that Champion of the Parish, and that's because the Champion is going to get its own triggered ability to go up a counter from itself, and then also from the Thalia's Lieutenant. So that Champion can get out of control pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing about this humans deck that a lot of people overlook is all the creatures are just good creatures on their own, and they all happen to be humans.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's the thing about it is that it's a deck that basically has a way to deal with everything it needs to. It's important to have a good starting 7 with it for sure. All right, so Andrew obviously trying to look for an answer to all these creatures here.
He has one sitting in his hand there. That's an Oblivion Stone.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Josh is going to be in big trouble if he's able to get this Oblivion Stone off here. So.
Oh, and that's a Sanctum of Ugin too. He's looking at. So I think he's probably just going to find like an Urza's Tower there, yeah, and just go ahead and play the Oblivion Stone and wait until Josh's combat to pop that thing.
For any of you guys in chat that aren't familiar with what Tron exactly does, basically this is a set of lands that they work off each other. There's 3 of them, and if they get if a player has all 3 of these cards on the battlefield at one time, they get a bonus effect. 2 of the lands, the mine and the power plant, will basically be able to tap for 2 colorless, and then the tower taps for 3. So if you have all 3 of the lands on the battlefield at one time, you essentially have 7 available mana. So the entire Tron deck is trying to play really high casting cost spells that they can basically play on turn 3. But the only thing that's really stopping them from being too overpowered here is that they have to be colorless.
Right, and yeah, Refute in the chat. You are correct about that. I didn't consider that line though. The cutting off the noble mana. You're correct.
What's that? What I missed?
In chat here.
Yeah. So he said he should crack it now to cut off
the Oblivion Stone. I was talking about. You should cut it off in combat, but just leave him on 1 mana. I mean, might as well just drive that little 1 more nail.
All right, guys. There's the Ugin that Andrew just described with Ancient Stirring.
Firmly out of reach at this point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If he lands that Ugin, it's
just coming down. He's got 12 mana. I think 10 mana at least. 10, 11. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh also, he could start thinking, just maybe he just wants to see a little bit of everything that's in Andrew's deck here. I mean, it looks like he's playing
free information.
Yeah, it looks like Andrew's playing a pretty stock Tron list here, but I think, if I'm Josh, maybe I'm thinking like, okay, I want to see everything that he's got here, so for my sideboard,
Yeah, maybe see one little piece of spice he hadn't previously seen.
Yeah, we got somebody in chat saying Ancient Stirrings is such a good card for itself. Yeah, definitely.
That's a card that a lot of people have been talking about. That's the next card on the ban chopping block.
Yeah, some people want that. So, I think it's okay. I don't think it needs to be banned necessarily, but it's definitely a super strong card. But
I agree with you.
You get to look at a lot of cards, and for green, it's slightly uncharacteristic because you generally are seeing that in blue, but we don't have anything in modern in blue that's that powerful. But yeah, again, the drawback again for that is that it has to be a colorless card. So.
He's just going to go find another piece of Tron.
Thanks, JTHD. Appreciate it. This is our first week streaming with commentary. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything in particular that you're interested in knowing or think that we should improve on, go ahead and let us know and stream, no problem. All right, so we're going to have sideboard lists here. Tom's going to go over what these guys got.
All right, so on the left here for Andrew playing Tron, we got 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Mistcutter Hydra, 2 Thrag Tusk, 3 Thought-Knot Seer, 3 Nature's Claim, 2 Warping Whale, and 1 Crucible of Worlds, and 1 Pithing Needle. What do you like?
Yeah, so, all right, I could see Andrew maybe bringing in Thragtusk to maybe gain a little bit of life, maybe have extra blockers on here.
Grind it out a little bit. I could see the Warping Whales, too, just as a little piece of removal.
Yeah, and the Warping Whales, he doesn't really need to. I mean, he's got so much main board against humans. Like I said, their matchup is so good against humans. But yeah, I would say that's probably. I don't think he's going to bring in. I don't think he cares that much about their Aether Vial, so he's not going to bring in like Pithing Needle or Nature's Claims.
No.
And then how about for Josh?
So on the human side here, we got 2 Knight of Autumn, 2 Auriok Champion, 2 Dismember, 3 Sin Collector, 2 Izzet Staticaster, 1 Riders of Gavany, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Gaddock Teague, and 1 Anaphens of the Foremost.
Yep.
The one that's sticking out here to me is Gaddock Teague.
Yep, Gaddock Teague is going to be his number 1 card he's pulling out of the sideboard.
I'd like to see these Knight of Autumns, too, maybe interact with some of those artifacts.
Yeah, Knight of Autumn's sweet. Knight of Autumn is basically a new card that just came out as well.
It's not a human, though.
No, it's not. And neither is Gaddock Teague. So both of these cards are not going to be easy to cast necessarily. They're both green-white mana requirements. Gaddock Teague is just green-white, so it's just a 2-drop. Knight of the Autumn is a 3-drop, so it's green-white colorless. But But with humans, obviously, we have Noble Hierarchs to be able to play these. We have Ancient Ziggurats that are able to play these. And then we do have a single Plains as well. And then we have Aether Vial. So anytime, obviously, you have a good draw, a good starting hand with humans, you want to have, obviously, an Aether Vial in hand as well.
Right.
If he can get out of Aether Vial turn 1, this stuff's not going to be hard for him to cast. The Gaddock Teeg is going to basically force Andrew to have spot removal because it's going to stop any of the large casting removal spells that Andrew has from being able to be played. Let's see if we can get that actually Gaddock Teeg up on the screen as well.
Itty Bitty and the Cat, which is better in your opinion, Pithing Needle or Phyrexian Revoker? That's really a meta choice, honestly. It depends on if you're playing in a meta where, for example, people play a lot of search for his canters or lands that are relevant. If there's not a lot of relevant lands, I personally prefer Phyrexian Revoker just because it has a body.
I like Pithing Needle myself. I just like casting something for 1 that you can get down turn 1 possibly and really mess your opponent up. And then also it's a little bit tougher to deal with. Some decks have a pretty easy time dealing with creatures while they don't have...
I like my Disruption to bring the beats, though.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, that's notable for sure. Phyrexian Revoker is definitely a beat stick as well. So yeah, that's definitely conditional. You do see in most sideboards in Modern you see Pithing Needle much more than you see Phyrexian Revoker, just so you guys know as well.
Yep, he is right about that. I just personally prefer Phyrexian Revoker.
Yeah, if any of you guys are Legacy players, you see Phyrexian Revoker all over the place. That's a card that's a staple in the Death and Taxes deck as well, which is huge right now in Legacy also. It's one of the top tier decks for sure. It's okay, so let's see somewhat what chat's saying as well. The players are in the computer room. Yeah, so guys, if you guys have been here before, this is our first week streaming with commentary. We have, in the computer room, we have the feature table, and then over here by the main window is our setup here now. If this works out, we're going to keep it like this. For now, it seems to be okay, and we could probably just adjust it as weeks go on.
We're back to our game. Seems like we're resolving mulligans here. Yep. So Josh is going to be on the play. What do we need to see... What do we need to see from Josh to win game 2 here?
Oh, yeah. So, again, so he has a turn 1 Noble. That's not bad because, like I said, my favorite thing, obviously, if he doesn't have Aether Vial, it's not the end of the world. But with the Noble, he can get a lot of pressure down quick. Turn 2, hopefully, like a Mantis Rider if he does, or try and get maybe like a Thalia out there. A Thalia is going to slow down Andrew also. So let's see what he does. It looks like he's going to go the slow route here with the champion. It's not the end of the world because this champion could still...
it could spiral out of control.
Oh, there
that's pretty good. A Meddling Mage there. So what does Meddling Mage do?
Meddling Mage, he gets to name a card, any card he wants, and then that card can't be played. This, again, is another type of card that's going to force kind of awkward spot removal for your opponent. Usually, Meddling Mage gets named for, like, sweepers or board wipes.
If I had to guess, I'd probably say Oblivion Stone in this spot.
Yep, 100% correct, probably. We can't hear exactly what he did, but I would imagine that's that either usually you want to name Oblivion Stone or Ugin. Some Tron lists run Dismember, but we saw Andrew, and at least in his, we only have access to his sideboard, but in his sideboard, obviously, he's not playing that, so I'm not sure. Probably most of his removal here is going to be sweepers or large removal here. All right, so Andrew also played a Ghost Quarter there. If he pulled in the Crucible of Worlds from his board, that's going to be recurring land destruction for him. And the human deck only runs 2 basics, so they're not able to really come back that quickly with that.
Yeah, I hear ya. Sorry about that. Yeah, I highly doubt he brought in the Crucible of Worlds. I feel like that's much more of a grindy card.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so yeah, Josh right now has a lot of pressure on board. If he has a big turn right now, like if he gets like a Thalia's Lieutenant or something out there, he could be looking pretty good. He also might need to get a little bit of hand disruption, maybe a Kitesail freebooter. Maybe he also doesn't want to devote too much to the board as well because he's afraid of a board wipe.
Yeah, no, he can't commit too much to the board. If he runs himself into, that Meddling Mage is probably named on Oblivion Stone, but he could run into an All His Dust, for example. And if you've overcommitted with these creature decks into those board wipes, you're just going to lose the game. So you have to walk a fine line. You have to put enough pressure on that you're gonna clock them, but you can't commit too many resources to the board, or you're just gonna lose.
Yep, I agree with you for sure.
Yep.
All right, so he's swinging out here, putting Andrew on what looks to be a 2-turn clock. So Andrew's got to answer this next turn here with a sweeper, some kind of way to deal with the board. He did
find Tron this turn though, so he does have an Ugin in hand.
Yep.
And that means if he didn't name Ugin with that meddling mage, he's just going to get slammed on here.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems like it's what's going to happen. Yep.
Yeah, that's nasty right there.
Yep, that's probably going to be the game.
All right, so we got Itty Bitty Kitty in the chat here saying, was Reflector Mage worth banning in Standard? Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, at the time, I don't think so. People they were more frustrated with the card. I really didn't think it was worth a ban. I think what else got banned with it?
Real quick, I just want to cut you off here really fast. So Josh Kitesale freebooted here. He's going to get a chance to take something out of Andrew's hand. I would definitely probably take that Dismember, because if he doesn't take it, well, you know what? Actually, though, Andrew is on
That's his life, only option other than the star.
Yeah, Andrew at this point is not too worried. He's going to be able to take care of everything on Josh's side of the table.
Ugin's +1 is just going to clean everything up nicely.
Yeah, to get back to the Reflector Mage in Standard. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, Emrakul got banned at the same time, and so did Aetherworks Marvel, and those two cards definitely needed the ban. Reflector Mage didn't need the ban. I think it was more of just people were frustrated with the card. I think people were more just frustrated with the card. Can you hear me?
I mean, so guys, Reflector Mage again, if anybody in chat doesn't know what that one is, that's an awesome tempo card. It's kind of humans' version of like creature removal, and what it does is it's going to bounce a creature back to your opponent's hand, and then they are not able to cast it for another turn, basically. It's sweet, awesome in creature matchups, and with your phantasmal images, you can copy them and just keep repeating it. It's a great card.
Yeah. That second part of the spell is why it got banned. People were just tired of dealing with it.
Yeah, and there's been a ton of cards like this in Magic over the years that were very, very similar to Reflector Mage.
Man of War type effects.
Yeah, Man of War, but they didn't have the text that said they can't cast it for another turn. That's what really makes that card like fantastic.
Puts it over the top, correct.
Yeah. Like, people get very frustrated playing against that card. It's just a huge tempo swing in general.
I think this game's about done here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
There's an Abzan, the green-white deck in Modern. The Coco combo deck, and they have a really hard time dealing with the Reflector Mage as well.
Yeah.
A lot of
just slows down their combo by a full turn, 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Evil Juggernaut. Yeah, he probably should assess what he's got in his hand, and then
it's just embarrassing.
Hopefully, no, it's not embarrassing.
Just kidding.
No, I mean, if he probably doesn't have a whole lot of outs here. I mean, even if his best card is like a Manus Rider, but so Manus Rider, off the top, play a land, get him down to 3, probably get removed, have to top another Manus Rider.
Even then,
win, yeah.
Yeah, I still just don't see any line.
Yeah, because the World Eater can, it can.
And he still does have that Dismember hanging out in his hand.
Yep, exactly. But obviously, Josh doesn't know that, so there we go. There's
he does know that. It was under the Kitesale freebooter.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's just gonna kill everything with the Ugin. You have to play it out to the bitter end, though.
You want to check for a backup match, please?
All right, there we go. That's game. All right. As you said, humans got beat pretty handily there.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I expected. Like I said, when you're a humans player, you see a Tron across the board, the first Tron land, you're not a happy camper.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just too many ways that they can blow up your lands, and they get a lot bigger than you, wipe your board. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a few minutes here, folks. We'll be back in a minute.
Okay. We're finding a matchup. I'll stay with you guys here. I'll stay with you guys in chat. We're going to be finding a second backup match here as well. Anybody in chat want to talk about any Modern decks in particular? What's everybody in chat playing right now? Or any format actually is fine. Also, I know some of the people here in chat are some EDH players. I'm not a big EDH person myself, but if you guys want to talk about have any modern questions or anything like that. Well, also, maybe we'll try to get one of the players that just finished to come over here for a quick second.
Everyone's like in the middle of matches or done.
Hey, Dan, would you be able to grab Andrew? He's the Tron player. He just finished. One of the guys that just finished. You on Tron? You want to come sit down real quick? All right, we're going to get Andrew, right? Yeah, we're going to get Andrew over here, sit down really quick, just answer a couple questions for us. If you want to put those on really quick.
Sure.
All right, guys, it says Tom underneath there, but we got Andrew who just finished his game.
I got alter egos.
So it was a good win, awesome win in there. So tell us a little bit about the matchup for us.
To be real, I thought I was about to lose. Never played Tron before.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's kind of a free roll when you play 9 board wipes in the main deck.
Yeah, that's what I was. We were talking about that a little bit while you guys were playing. We're saying, it's a good matchup, obviously, for Tron for sure.
Yeah.
So, but so when you saw you were playing humans, you weren't.
Yeah, I've been out of Magic for like a year.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't even know it was in the deck. I was like Thalia's Lieutenant. I thought Innistrad Draft.
Nice. So what's your favorite part about the Tron deck?
Oh, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I've always made fun of it. It's a face roll deck anyone can play.
Oh, yeah.
It's 0 skill.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Powerful deck though, at least, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we got to see obviously in action. There was a couple key parts there when he meddling mage. Did he name Oblivion Stone with the meddling mage? Yeah.
Like it's one or the other. Both are at the 8. So
yep. So
it's only relevant at the 7 or 8. But all his dust would be better, I guess, if I played first turn Tron land.
Okay. Yeah. And then in your sideboard there. Anything in particular spicy that you put in there?
Warping Whales.
Warping Whales, very
card
cool.
Seemed ridiculous.
Yeah. And did you end up bringing that in against humans?
Oh, yeah, 2 Warping Whale, 2 Thragtusk.
Cool.
But that's just because Karn's a dead card.
Okay, yeah, anybody in chat that doesn't know what Warping Whale is, the card came out about a year ago. It exiles a creature with toughness. Is it toughness?
Yeah, it's power or toughness.
Power or toughness, 1 or less. They're pretty good against humans.
Yeah.
If you, if they're playing any of their small creatures like Champion of the Parish,
every card in their deck besides Meddling Mage or Reflecting Mage.
Yeah, like anything other than like their 3 drops, like you're pretty much knocking out right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, awesome, Andrew. Hopefully we'll see you again up here. Good job.
For sure. Yeah,
all right, dude.
Thanks, man.
Good job. All right, guys, that was Andrew who just played Tron. So, all right, let's see what some of the people in chat are saying. All right, Bang Spirits. Yeah, Sleazy. I want to see if we have spirits up here as well. I'm going to try and see if Andrew or Dan, which are our tech guys up here, if